helping perfect your California flavor.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
A very, very good Sunday, Funday morning, everyone. You have arrived. Where, you ask? At California's number one place to talk about current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by the lovely and talented Patty Pyburn. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, Randall White.
Yes, and so it's our goal each week, Patty, to do what? To
give you the tools that you need to enjoy life's pleasures in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused manner.
I was wondering if Patty had committed that to memory yet. And
I've been paying attention.
Straight ahead on this hour of the program, the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program, we are learning about gout. Do you know? Are you familiar with gout?
I am, and it's funny because I have a family member who has had that periodically. Really painful.
Super painful form of arthritis, and there's been some hope that vitamin C
could help.
But a new study shines a little light on that, and so we're headed to New Zealand for that one.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then a little bit later, we will be speaking with, we're headed to New York.
We're all over the map.
We are.
All over the globe.
To speak with a guy who founded an organization called Navigators USA. You know, there's been quite a bit of controversy surrounding scouting and the Boy Scouts, and this is the week that they vote on whether or not to include gay scouts while still excluding gay leaders.
Okay.
Sending the message, in my opinion, that you're fine as a kid, but as soon as you turn 18, we need you out of here, which
it's a mixed message.
It's a mixed message for sure. Anyway, while that battle continues to rage and that sort of thing, there's a whole different scouting organization called Navigators USA that welcomes everyone and is growing by leaps and bounds.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have not heard about the Navigators.
More than 40 chapters nationwide, and according to the organizer, on the verge of doubling in size within this next year. And so,
very cool.
So really cool. So yeah, and there's a chapter within our listening area as well. So we will bring him on, and then for our travel and tourism segment, we're headed to Lake Tahoe, which is
let's go.
So beautiful.
I'm ready.
Yeah. In fact, while the Amgen Tour of California is not in the Tahoe area this go round, too bad it wasn't this year because they have nice weather up there this time.
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But at any rate, we're switching seasons up there. Right now, we're in the bridge season, but starting Memorial Day weekend, next weekend, it is officially summer again. And while the rates go up, so do the offerings of things to do. Lots of things to do. So we'll learn about how you can easily fill your days in Lake Tahoe. If you spend the next several months up there. I used to spend summers up at Lake Tahoe.
Right. Sounds really idyllic.
On the North Shore, and that's where we're headed for this one.
Very nice. Cool.
So my grandparents lived up there, and then we would vacation. We'd spend a couple of weeks at least during the summer, and then we would. My mom would load us all into the car, and we didn't want to go because we were at the lake, but she would take us to Carson City, which is just over there's a pass there.
Why would your mom be interested in going to Carson City? I don't understand that.
Because there was a Mervyn's there. Remember Mervyn's?
Yes.
There was a Mervyn's there, and
she could do a little shopping.
She could do our school clothes shopping without paying any sales tax. Because Nevada, at that time, I don't know where they are on it now, but they didn't have sales tax because the casinos funded all of that.
Right.
So, my clothing choices would typically come from Mervyn's in Carson City. So I was right there on the cutting edge every every September school season, because we started school in September. I think they start much earlier
But
nowadays.
school fashion was a little different back then, if I remember.
It was pretty much always the same. Tough skin jeans.
Yes.
or Levi's.
Or Levi's.
And T-shirts that had like motocross printing on the front or something.
Yes. And in my high school, it was the alligator, the Izod.
Oh,
golf
yeah.
shirts.
That right. Later on, I was thinking earlier.
You were thinking earlier.
Yeah.
And then everyone started the year with really dark blue Levi's. And then at the end of the school year, they were all faded out.
Yeah.
Went through that kind of transition.
Right. We had in junior high, it was like preppy.
Yes.
And then in high school, like you said, I do remember owning a pair of parachute pants.
Okay. Remember the parachute pants? My brother, I'm sorry that I'm outing him right now, but he had a pair of red parachute pants.
I'll tell you what, where we sit here to do the show, if you watch us online at eatdrinkexplore.com, we do provide you with a video simulcast of the show. There's a shopping center directly behind us. And by shopping center, it's a nice pedestrian mall. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And I see all week long, fashions coming and going. And
Right.
I've been seeing an uptick in parachute pants.
Well, some of those 80s fashions, sorry that I'm letting everyone know just how old we are, when we were in high school in the 80s, they're coming, it's full circle. They're coming back around.
It is coming back around. And I'll tell you what, my husband and I, Ricardo, he hasn't seen a lot of programming that we grew up with. And so on Netflix, we've been watching Cheers from the very first episode on. And I got to tell you,
That's an education.
Yeah, it is. Sam and Diane had some pretty good fashion. And I thought it was going to be awful.
Right.
I want some of the sweaters they're wearing. I'm like, those need to come back in fashion. And because it's been so long since I've seen it, it's like watching a whole new series all over again. I know who the characters are. I just don't remember what they did.
So it's all new to you. That's perfect.
Okay, then next hour, we're going to talk a little bit, I think, about jackfruit. Have you ever heard of jackfruit?
I haven't, but I saw it in our rundown. So I actually have the Wikipedia jackfruit page open right now.
That's our Patty.
Yeah, doing my research.
World's largest fruit, I believe. It can grow up to like 110 pounds.
I had no idea that jackfruit was the world's largest fruit. I had a few other candidates, but anyways.
Right. It's, what you can do with jackfruit is... let's see, how do I describe this? You can kind of make it stringy.
Okay.
And then you cook it in a pan with like savory seasonings and stuff, and it takes on the texture of like shredded beef.
Oh, interesting.
But it's not one of these highly processed things. It's not processed at all.
No, it came right off a tree.
Right. And so
interesting.
There's a chef down in LA that's using jackfruit right now in her vegan tacos, and she has a hard time convincing these vegans that she didn't use beef.
They're like, I don't believe you.
Right.
Are you tricking us?
So how cool is that?
That's really interesting.
And then we, I don't know if you weren't here last week, but I quickly ran down a list of the top food fraud items.
Right.
And
are these like the things that get substituted that you don't realize?
Yeah. And so
the calamari one is one that really grosses me out.
Calamari and the pig bunghole. Yeah, we don't talk about that, but but I'll tell you what. The Dr. Lip will be speaking to, and he is with an organization that tracks all this sort of thing, and he's going to run down the list of the top ones and how you can avoid it and all that sort of thing. So that'll be fun. That's in our final.
It's one of those things where it's like you're glad you know, but then you kind of wish you didn't know because it messes up what you're ordering at the restaurant.
That's right. So at 8:14 now on this Sunday Funday, Patty and I have just whittled away an entire segment. I apologize if our inane chatter bothered you, but right after the commercial break, we are headed to New Zealand. You don't say down under with New Zealand, right? That's just Australia.
Yeah, it's just Australia. Yeah.
So I don't want to have any faux pas on the radio. Stick around, everyone. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Piper, and we're back in a moment.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. Hello, everyone. It's now 19 minutes past the hour, and a happy Sunday fun day to you. I'm your host, Randall White, and it is time for the weekly Eat, Drink, Explore health and fitness segment, when we welcome experts to the show who can help us make the right decisions when it comes to food, beverages, and activities in our lives. This past week, I saw an article on gout and findings that show taking large doses of vitamin C may do little to help the painful condition. Dr. Lisa Stamp is the lead author of the study done at the University of Otago, that's in Christchurch, New Zealand. She joins us on the Eat, Drink, Explore live line now from her home in New Zealand, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, it's great to be with you.
Now, gout was historically known as the disease of kings or rich man's disease, as it was believed that high-fat foods consumed by those populations are what caused the conditions, the painful condition. Can you explain exactly what gout is and what causes it?
So gout is a form of arthritis, which simply means there's inflammation in the joints, and that's what you see when you get gout. It becomes inflamed, red, hot, swollen, and extremely painful. And gout's caused by a buildup of uric acid in the blood. We get uric acid from a variety of sources. Our body makes it naturally as our cells die. They break down, and that's the product released and break down into uric acid. But we also give it through what we eat and drink. And that's where the disease of kings has come in, and those rich foods and alcohol are the things that are thought to have been broken down into forming the uric acid, which goes on to cause gout.
The uric acid crystallizes, if I understand it correctly, and those sharp crystals are what cause the pain in the joints?
That's right. So when the levels in the blood get to a high level, then the uric acid crystallizes. And those crystals can work their way into the joints, and that's what causes the acute painful attacks. And we can actually see those crystals. So when somebody's got an inflamed joint from gout, we can take some fluid from the joint, and when we look down the microscope, we can actually see the crystals, and they look like little needles. I always think when I look at them, it's not hard to understand why it's so painful when you've got these little needles sitting inside a joint.
Right. How long does the typical bout of gout, the gout experience, how long does that typically last? A day or so?
Well, when it first starts, so in the early stages of the disease, when the attacks come, they'll often last just a few days. The problem is if it goes untreated, as time goes on, the attacks will become more frequent and they will last a longer period of time, and may last weeks if they're not treated properly. And then ultimately patients can go on and have what we call chronic gout, which is where there's just low-grade gout present all of the time. So it usually takes several years for that to happen.
Now, why was there a belief that vitamin C, high doses of vitamin C, may help sufferers of gout?
So there's been some research, a lot of it out of the States actually, which suggests when they look at large populations of people, and these are healthy people, that if you have higher levels of vitamin C in your diet, that you're less likely to actually get gout. There's been some studies in healthy people that when they take vitamin C, the uric acid levels in the blood can come down slightly. So this has led to this concept that vitamin C can help prevent gout and may be useful as a treatment for gout. The problem with those studies was that they weren't actually done in people who had gout. They were done in healthy people.
Oh, so they were taking a look at, I'm sorry to interrupt you, they were taking a look at healthy people. These people were taking large doses of vitamin C and their uric acid levels went down. But those previous studies weren't looking at people actually suffering from the condition.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And your study did take a look at people with gout.
That's right. So we wanted to see, we thought, people love taking natural therapies. I mean, everyone wants to take something natural instead of taking a pill. Why wouldn't you if you could? So we wanted to look and see in our patients with gout whether we could give them vitamin C and it would help lower their uric acid levels. Because we know to successfully treat gout, you actually have to lower the levels of uric acid in the blood, and you have to keep them lowered for quite a long time. So anything that we can give our patients that's going to help lower the uric acid levels is going to be beneficial.
Now, there are some chemicals, right? Albuterol, or I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, but
allopurinol.
Allopurinol, thank you. That does
allopurinol, yep.
Allopurinol, which does reduce uric acid levels. Were they thinking that if you combine the vitamin C and the allopurinol together, that was the best possible result?
Well, that's what we were thinking. The study had two parts to it. Firstly, we looked at people with gout who needed treatment and weren't receiving any treatment. And we gave them either allopurinol, which is our standard treatment for gout here in New Zealand, or we gave them vitamin C to see how big the difference was between those two forms of treatment. And in the second group of patients that had gout, they were already receiving allopurinol for their gout, and we looked to see whether what their response was in terms of their blood uric acid levels compared when we gave them either a higher dose of the allopurinol or we gave them vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
We were hoping that we would see that we would lower the uric acid levels just a little bit so that, for some patients who perhaps didn't want to take more drug, we could give them vitamin C instead and it would have the same effect. But unfortunately, our research didn't show that.
Oh, that's too bad. How many people were part of this study?
So this was quite a small study. It was 40 people. So 20 people got vitamin C and 20 people got the allopurinol. But still, it was big enough to show that there wasn't any really significant change in the uric acid levels with vitamin C. The levels did come down a small amount, but it wasn't enough to be what we call clinically significant. So it wasn't enough to actually really make a difference in terms of whether you're going to get more gout or not.
Will the findings in your study now lead to future studies looking for other combinations that might work?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of issues. I think that we use a moderate dose of vitamin C, so we used 500 milligrams a day. So there's been a suggestion that maybe we just didn't use enough, so maybe we should use 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. I think that's reasonable and it's unlikely to cause even more benefit. And the other thing that we have to be aware of is that, even taking natural things like vitamin C in very high doses like that can actually have its own problems if you do it over a very long period of time.
All right.
I don't think at the moment I would necessarily pursue 1,000 milligram dose.
What would be the best suggestion? Just to eat healthier foods? To more plant-based foods that aren't so high in those rich fats. I know nuts and seeds can be high in fat. Does it matter the source of the fat when it comes to suffering from gout?
Yeah, it's not so much the fat that we worry about as the protein. But the whole diet around gout has changed recently. We used to, tell people not to eat foods that are very rich in purines. So that's things like peas and pulses, red meats and shellfish. So certainly we do suggest that patients don't eat, large quantities of, say, shellfish or red meat and drink large quantities of alcohol. But it's also been shown that there are some good foods for gout. So low-fat dairy in particular is one. So low-fat milk can actually be quite beneficial. The other thing that's really important in your country is the high fructose corn syrup.
Right.
There's now a lot of evidence that fructose can raise uric acid levels in the blood, and aggravate gout. And I think we don't so much here in New Zealand, but I think in the States you use a whole lot of high fructose corn syrup to sweeten things.
People are pulling back on it, and labels all over the place say no high fructose corn syrup, so that's a good thing. Dr. Lisa Stamp, lead author of a study done at the University of Otago in Christchurch, New Zealand on gout. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
All right, you too. Stick around, everyone. We are back in just a moment. Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
the traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas from that time, the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the two-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And they cut down on our energy costs, because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. Hello, everyone. It is now 33 minutes past the hour, and a big thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Randall White, and as many of you may know, this coming Thursday, the Boy Scouts of America are poised to vote on an issue that has been a sore spot for the organization for many years. On May the 23rd, the Boy Scouts 1,400-member national board will vote on a resolution to drop its ban on gay scouts. However, the vote, if passed, would maintain a ban on gay adult leaders. So while it may appear initially to be a move toward acceptance, to many, it does create a situation where gay children are taught that once they turn 18, they're no longer worthy of the organization. They're simply kicked out and denied the option of becoming leaders. After years of fighting this battle for equality with the Scouts, some have given up trying to change the culture of that organization and simply start anew, fresh, with a accepting organization with similar educational goals in mind, and hence Navigators USA was born in East Harlem, New York, now sporting 47 chapters, I believe, from coast to coast and growing. Listen to their creed, or what they cleverly call their moral compass. As a navigator, I promise to do my best to create a world free of prejudice and ignorance, to treat people of every race, creed, lifestyle, and ability with dignity and respect, to strengthen my body and improve my mind, to reach my full potential, to protect our planet and preserve our freedom. Robin Bossert, Executive Director of the Navigators USA organization, is kind enough to join us this day to talk a little bit about it. Hey, Robin.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. And it's the first time we've ever attempted a Skype video connection, so there is a little bit of a delay. You look fine though, and we're happy to have you here with us. I love this idea. Instead of continuing this years-long battle, why not just start fresh? And that's what you did.
10 years ago, actually. We didn't want to wait, but then we also started thinking about the whole scouting thing and figured it's time for an alternative for people who would never be scouts anyway, for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. We're just a different group, and one main thing is that we're co-ed. We're going to change the moral compass to include gender discrimination. Lots of parents want to keep their kids separate at those ages, and that's fine. But there's a lot of parents out there who want their sons and daughters to be in the same group. And it's turned out to be really successful, and it's resonating across the country. So it's not a one-issue scouting organization. Our moral compass really talks about the incredible importance of acceptance for the future generations, for the future of the planet. We have to learn to get along with people we may not agree with or accept on certain terms, but we really think this is more important than almost anything else for young people today.
So, Robin, when people imagine a typical Navigator meeting, is it very much formed after how, the principles of the Boy Scouts, those sorts of things, going camping? And I wasn't a Boy Scout, so I can't really draw on memory from what people do, but just from what I've seen portrayed in the media.
Yes and no. Basically we are mission oriented, in terms of getting kids out, in the communities where they are, and then out into nature, further out into nature. We believe nature's everywhere, right here in the middle of New York City.
It's true.
There's different ways of solving problems, and the Boy Scout and Girl Scout way of doing it is an excellent way. It's worked for millions of people, but there are other ways of doing it. So for the round pegs who can't fit in square holes, as we say, the Navigators is for them. It's what I call it's the last borns kind of scouting. The stereotype of the last born is like many of the founding fathers of this country. Most of them were last borns, people that got on the boat because the firstborns stayed and took care of the farms and the castles and whatever.
Right.
They think outside the box. They have problems with authority, but they know how to be creative and get the job done in a different way, not a better way, not a worse way, just a different way. So Navigators we do a lot of outward bound. We take a lot of our experiential education material, which the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts use as well, and teach kids how to group, problem solve, and cooperation, and many of the exact same things that all the scouting organizations do.
I want to take a sentence from your moral compass that says, to strengthen my body and improve my mind, to reach my full potential. That full potential portion, I want to use that as a starting point to ask you the question. I want your take on how you feel about this upcoming vote. And you can't really reach a full potential if the cutoff is 18 years old, right?
Well, that's an interesting point. I never actually thought of that. We don't have requirements per se. We're an association. We can't kick anyone out, mm-hmm. which can have its own problems, but we have a whole chapter in Alpena, Michigan, of kids who are autistic, and they didn't get to their Eagle Scout by 18, and they're 20 now, and they're all Navigators. If you feel as a local leader that you can handle kids 5, 6, 7, and then 18, 19, 20, 21, you can be a Navigator.
Right.
So I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was just wondering if, with this upcoming Boy Scout vote, they're saying that, sure, gay kids are okay, but at 18 years old, then you are not okay any longer. And it just doesn't seem. I'm not the first person to mention this. I've been seeing it in the news that people are saying, well, yeah, it's a vote in the right direction on one level, but on so many other levels, it doesn't work. There's another portion of the creed that I wanted to ask you about, or the moral compass, I should say, and that's the use of the word lifestyle, which for some people, it's a negatively charged word used to describe the gay lifestyle as though it's an immoral, choice. Why not use a phrase like a natural orientation or did you want to avoid using the term sexual, like sexual orientation?
Absolutely. But, we are changing that word. Actually, that was 10 years ago. It was much, much more of a hot button back then to say orientation. We're not going to say sexual, but we will say orientation, simply. It's going to be hard to change a lot of stuff. It'll take a year probably to do, but we're adding gender and we're taking out lifestyle and putting in orientation.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm happy to hear that. So, did I have that right? You're now 47 chapters coast to coast?
I think we're more like 43, 44. Mm-hmm. We have 47, that listed, but 4 of them, no longer haven't been able to keep a group going. It's Norman, Oklahoma, Fort Collins, and one place in Massachusetts. Their volunteers couldn't keep it going. So I think we're around 43, 44. But since the Mother Jones article, we've had about 150 inquiries, and so I figure by September we'll probably double our size.
Wow, that's great to hear. That's how I found out about it, was the Mother Jones article, and when I read it, I thought, well, we really need to have Robin on the show to talk a little bit about exploring the issue at hand and the choice. There's now an alternate choice for people that are tired of fighting this battle with the Scouts. So do you find yourself travel as the executive director? Do you have to visit all of these different chapters?
I would love to. We're a bit strapped for money. We don't really do fundraising other than our local chapter, and we are committed to having this a very lean, non-bureaucratic national organization.
Right.
So when I travel for my own business, I've traveled and met Cincinnati and Williamsburg, and 2 weekends ago I was out in Los Altos camping with a wonderful new group out of Silicon Valley that is just on fire. They've got 30 kids. They're expecting 30 more. They're not sure how they're going to handle the numbers. Really great. smart people. I didn't understand half of what they were saying over the campfire.
You went into the redwoods of the Santa Cruz Mountains, right?
It was called Little Basin. I'm not sure where that. It's south of Palo Alto.
Yeah, beautiful.
It used to be a Hewlett-Packard retreat.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I got to tell you, Robin, I just am thrilled with what you're doing and the mindset that you'll be giving generations of children to come. And I wish the organization the best of success. We will have a link, of course, under today's program summary at eatdrinkexplore.com, but it's a simple one. It's just navigatorsusa.org. I have that correct, right?
Yes, you got to put in the USA or it goes to a religious organization.
Yeah, I know that because I tried that earlier today.
Everybody does.
Right. And so people could sign up for a chapter right there if they wanted or contact you to find out how.
Just contact me and I'll send out the information.
All right, fantastic. Robin Bossert, Executive Director of the Navigators USA organization, joining us today from his place there in New York. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, stick around, everyone. We are back in just a moment.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
You waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
Oh, that's our good friend Monica Picente, who's visiting the area today and will be cooking us up some chicken piccata.
Ooh.
I'll be having mushroom piccata.
Yum.
But yeah. And
maybe in the future you'll have jackfruit piccata.
Possibly. And we'll be talking about, yeah, that would be good. We'll be talking about jackfruit coming up in the next hour of the program and how it's really become the rage, at least in like vegan circles and that sort of thing, for its meat-like quality, but no processing. You know,
really cool.
Right. But this is our travel deals segment, and we are headed to an area that I just absolutely love. Childhood memories, but also just for its sheer beauty, Lake Tahoe. We are supposed to have a guy on the line to help us with this, but he hasn't called in, but we have all the information.
I was going to say he was a no-show, but he's a no-call.
He's a no-call, but we have all the information we need, so it's not that big of a deal that he's not on the line. It's been a hassle, to tell you the truth, organizing
Getting
this call
together.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's something that should be really easy, but
it's just a phone call.
Didn't turn out that way. Yes. So at any rate, we are headed to North Lake Tahoe because it's the time of year when when the seasons change up there. They have 4 distinct seasons,
right?
And we're heading into summer now, and there's so much to do in the summertime up there. Clearly, people think of it for skiing in the winter,
right? Obviously,
yeah. And then I think fall and spring is a time you can go up there and kind of enjoy the casinos, maybe. But then summertime is all about getting out and enjoying
the outdoors, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, the surrounding Sierra Nevada. So we'll start with road cycling, since today is the Tour of California, right?
And they're wrapping up.
Yeah, that's right. The final leg. We'll talk more about that in the news segment coming up. But there are so many trails around the lake. In fact, you can ride the entire circumference of
all the way
lake,
around if you're so inclined.
If you're so inclined. Patty's like, that sounds like
great. Is there wine? I do it for wine.
There's a really nice path that takes you from Tahoe City, which you would love Tahoe City. It's this cute little alpine town right on the lake. And then there's a path that follows the Truckee River to the little town of Truckee, which you would also love. And it's completely off the roadway. So no concerns that you would be encountering cars or that sort of thing. And just a really pleasant ride among the aspen trees.
Oh, you were talking on a bicycle.
Yes.
I just got the bicycle part.
You can get one of those little motorized bikes.
Can I get a 3-wheeler? Maybe that would work for me, a 3-wheeler.
3-wheeler will keep you upright?
Yeah, I hope.
Well, cycling at Tahoe is incredibly popular. Another popular thing is to actually get out on the lake, and not necessarily on a motorboat, but in a kayak,
person-powered boat. So when we're saying paddle boat, are we talking about the ones you do with your feet? And it looks...
No,
okay.
No, this is...
Those are fun.
Right, those are fun.
But you know what? They're a lot of work. So on the way back, I've done this a couple times with my kids. It's fun getting out there. But when you come back, you're like, wow, that's a long ways back.
Right.
To work out. Okay.
And so you need to be towed back.
Right.
No, yeah, those aren't really designed very well. They're little tiny pedals, and they aren't really doing the work.
It's a lot of pedaling.
But no, we're talking about kayaking.
Okay.
And another thing that's really become popular at Tahoe is stand-up paddleboarding.
Right. I think that's becoming popular. I have been seeing that even here on the Central Coast near us. Yeah.
And they do, I know in...
Have you tried it, stand-up
I have,
paddleboard?
and I love it. In the Tahoe City area, I know that they do yoga on the paddle boards.
Oh my gosh!
Out on the water, which really you got to be focused on your core strength there. So so paddleboarding. Kayaking and then paddleboarding, a couple of huge things. Mountain biking is really big as well, and I got to tell you that I have ridden. It's considered one of the best trails in the entire United States. It's called the Flume Trail, Flume.
Okay.
And it is on the Nevada side of the lake, just past, what would it be? Why can't I think of the name of the town? Oh, my gosh. It's where the Ponderosa... where they filmed Bonanza.
Okay.
You know what? Something's wrong with my brain.
Okay. Keep talking. I'm Google searching.
You do that, Patty. Anyway, the Flume Trail is I remembered the Flume Trail, so that's good. But it's beautiful, and it takes you up to all these little lakes that are way up above Lake Tahoe. So these little tiny alpine lakes that are up there, and just a lot of fun. And then let's see here, golf. I'm not that big of a golfer, but
Virginia City.
No.
Nope.
It's Okay, so there's Crystal Bay. There's a little area called Crystal Bay, and then as you head farther into Nevada along Crystal Bay,
and it was where Ponderosa was set.
Yeah, the Ponderosa is there. It's where the set actually is, like where they created a pretend little town.
Okay,
and. It's one of the bigger
Incline Village.
Incline Village. Thank you.
Finally got it.
I would have sat here. I would have sat here the entire segment.
Just thinking, what town is it?
But there's a lot of great golf up at Lake Tahoe, and because you're high in elevation, the ball goes farther, so you can really feel like a good golfer.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And you got the snow-capped peaks and that sort of thing. And then, other things like they've got beach front areas where you can do a little volleyball sort of stuff.
Fun.
Yeah. And then fly fishing is fun too.
Fishing.
Oh, we got him on the line now? Oh, okay. Well, the segment's practically over. But we can go ahead and welcome Andy Chapman to the phone. He's with the North Lake Tahoe Resort Association. Andy, hi.
Good morning.
Yes.
Sorry, I am a bit tardy this morning.
That's all right. I did a horrible job trying to get through it, to tell you the truth. I could not remember the name of Incline Village, even though that's where I spent my summers. So I just had a hard time with it. I don't know why. Andy, why is summer a great time to visit Tahoe?
Well, there's just so much activity going on up in the Tahoe region that really suits any type of personal vacation travel you're looking for. I mean, I just want to sit on the beach and be lazy today, to, I'm looking for that high adrenaline mountain bike single track run from the top of the mountain. So whether you want to go, paddle boarding, whether you want to go kayaking, bike riding, hiking, I mean, what we're really seeing is summer has started early this year in Tahoe.
Oh, right.
Trails have opened up. All the activity providers are there operating, and it's just a great opportunity to come out when it's not quite as crowded as it might be in the high season.
Right. And the other thing is, many of the things you mentioned, aside from, say, golf, are free if you have the tools.
Exactly, right. If you have the equipment already and you want to just pop it into the water and go, or on the bike and go, and, of course, hiking, all you need is your legs. So that was fairly simple as well. And
you're with the Resort Association. NLTRA.org is how people can get more information there. Are there also campgrounds around the lake? I don't know that I've ever... There are quite a few campgrounds around on the west shore, kind of between South Lake and North Lake. There's many lakefront camping, and then also on the east shore as well. And the website, actually, from a consumer standpoint, is GoTahoeNorth.com, and that has all the information you might be looking for, particularly some great stuff that's happening this coming Memorial Day weekend for opening day. Andy, I gotta cut you off there. So GoTahoeNorth.com. Stick around, everyone. A full hour coming up next. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network, live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Fabulous.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Good morning, Crush 92.5 listeners. It is 9 o'clock straight up on a beautiful Sunday. In fact, it feels like it'll be one of those days where the temperature just hits exactly right here on the Central Coast.
Looking very nice.
Gorgeous. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by the gorgeous Patty Pyburn. Hello, Patty Pyburn.
Good morning.
And we have a lot coming up on the show today, including we'll be talking jackfruit. Have you ever heard of a jackfruit?
First time this morning.
Yeah. You have because you've been researching it.
Yes. But prior to today, no.
It's a really interesting, kind of bizarre fruit that can be grown in California. It's not grown very much here. Most of it's imported, but it's really unique, and we'll talk a little bit about jackfruit coming up. Also, we will be talking about food fraud. But right now, I want to let you know that this hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by the great people at Eberly Winery in Paso Robles. Eberly is open daily from 10 in the morning until 6 o'clock at night with complimentary wine tasting and cave tours. Voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the entire Central Coast, Eberly Winery is located on 46 East in Paso Robles. You can log on to eberlywinery.com. That's EBERLE winery.com for more information. Patty, have you looked at some of the music acts that are coming our way this summer?
We have some big names coming to the Mid-State Fair.
Yeah, the Mid-State Fair are always good at bringing people in, but sometimes the list is full of people that I don't care about, even though they're huge.
Right. You know? Big names, but you're like, yeah.
Right. But Bonnie Raitt is coming.
Yeah, I have tickets to Matchbox 20.
You have tickets to Matchbox 20?
Yes, I do.
How many?
We can talk after the show.
Okay, good. Matchbox 20, I did not realize is coming.
Matchbox 20.
Bonnie Raitt's the one that I just, I love her and her music.
Van Halen's coming.
Everything. Oh, really? Who's singing? David Lee Roth?
I don't know that. Actually, I don't know.
Because you never know with Van Halen.
Right.
It could be Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth or some third
I feel
option.
like my brother told me because he was interested in seeing them. But I can't remember.
I saw them on their, this really dates me, on their 1984 tour, which was in 1984.
Really?
at a place called the Cow Palace in San Francisco. And David Lee Roth was, in my opinion, loaded. He actually forgot the words in the middle of a song. He forgot
of his own song.
Yeah, they're like, we'll just start with a different song, after that. So,
gosh,
I'm sure they've aged out of that. I'm hoping.
You hope. Also, John Mayer is going to be there, and my children have tickets to see John Mayer, and Philip Phillips, I think, is playing with him. Oh, I can't remember. Someone
for people watching our Ustream live video simulcast, off to the left-hand side of the screen, you can see an arm over here at the soundboard, and that is our sound tech, Anthony Renaro, who works the show. There's his hand; he's waving. Anthony's where he works. His day job is as a hairstylist, and you know who comes in there to get his haircut? The lead singer from Yes. The rock
wow!
group, Yes, his wife, right?
No,
her haircut there. They both do. They both do.
No.
Yes. John Anderson. And Yes will be performing at the Mid-State Fair. Also, I remember when I was in high school, the big ticket to get was for Yes's 90210. Oh, wait, 90210. That's... You know what it is? It's actually that a string of numbers that sounds a lot. I need to look it up during the commercial break. But all right, you're listening to Crush 92.5 right now. I'm your host, Randall White, Patty Piper, and we're back in 1 minute. I'll have that Yes information for you, the correct title for that album, and also the day's news and our complete lineup for the show. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
9:06 the time. A very, very good day, everyone. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Piper. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning, everyone, on this lovely Sunday.
Yes. It's a great day throughout California. Beautiful weather to be had out there. And a fun second hour of our broadcast today, including a little conversation about jackfruit, which is a fruit that is coming into its own right now. You know, there's always... Our show's all about food trends, and jackfruit is at the start of a trend, I believe. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Okay. And then at the bottom of the hour, we bring on a doctor, Dr. Lip, who will be discussing food fraud, the top items that aren't always what you think they are. Berries, honey, juices, coffee.
The stand-ins.
Spices. There's a number of different ones that really... are all in all, for the most part, the food you're buying is what you think it is. But if it's going to be targeted, that's what we're giving you, the list of those. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, I want to mention, not all of our listeners heard this because our previous segment is only heard in the San Luis Obispo area, but I want to mention we were just talking about the music acts that are making their way around the country. Many of them will stop off in the Paso Robles area this coming summer, and we're excited to welcome them. And we were talking about the rock group Yes will be performing there, and
July 6th.
July 6th, and I said the name of the album was 90210, and that's because I was getting confused with that Beverly Hills show. But it's 90125. You can see why it's so similar.
Yes.
I've confused that my whole
Yes,
life.
it is. So, Randall, also a little confusing because I was mentioning the lineup for the Mid-State Fair, which has some great stuff coming up, but Vina Robles Amphitheater right outside of Paso Robles has a great lineup as well, which is where Yes will be July 6th, and Bonnie Raitt will be in October.
Did you find out who the lead singer for Van Halen is now? I can't keep
They
up with
said David Lee Roth.
Oh, okay.
And they had a whole list of who will be there with the group. So I guess David Lee Roth will be there.
Yeah.
The lineup for Vina Robles of the next few months is great. Bruce Hornsby, Weird Al, ZZ Top, Lyle Lovett, Los Lobos. I can go on
Did
and on.
you say Huey Lewis in the News?
That's at the fair.
That's
the Mid-State Fair, Huey Lewis in the News. Yeah. Sammy Hagar, Doobie Brothers, Leonard Skinner. They have some great...
You don't always get the singer that made these songs popular with some of the older bands.
Right, the band changes.
That may or may not be the case with Yes. I don't think it's John Anderson, as I had mentioned earlier. So, but at any rate, if they're playing here next to us, they're probably also playing
other spots.
Yeah, wherever you're listening. If there's one of those venues that
Look it up.
seems to bring in some of the oldies but goodies, look them up there. At any rate, Patty, right now it is time
It is time.
My dear Patty Pyburn to play the news sounder, and this is where I tap dance a little. Time for a little. I opened it there for you on the.
There we go.
There we go.
I clicked it. I promised I did.
It is time for the news with Patty Pyburn.
All right, from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this Sunday morning, one of the nation's largest producers of organic products is recovering from a major fire this past week at its headquarters in Wisconsin. Organic Valley, based in the small dairy town of Lafarge, had one of its main buildings gutted by fire on Tuesday. A local newspaper says about a third of the farming cooperative's 400 employees based in Lafarge are expected to return to work next week. Organic Valley says they are open for business and taking orders. Now, damage. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you have to give it the Wisconsin Lafarge.
Lafarge.
Sort of accent. What's the damage estimated?
$6 to $8 million.
Oh, yeah.
Cause still under investigation. They don't know how it started yet.
That's a cooperative, so it affects a lot of dairies here in California as well that are part of Organic Valley's cooperative. So hopefully they can
recover
new digs quickly.
Yeah. Well, California's financially strapped state parks are looking for some new forms of revenue, and they are looking at parking lots as a possible source. There are plans to impose fees at beach lots in Sonoma and Mendocino counties, as well as hiking the already in place parking fees at several Southern California beaches. Of course, as you can imagine, the proposal is not sitting well with locals, state coastal regulators, and environmentalists. This is according to the AP. About a third of California's coastline is controlled by the State Department of Parks and Recreation, and a revamp of parking payment structure is one of the ways to keep beaches open and provide maintenance.
So, let's see, how do I put this? I contacted the woman who is quoted in the article with the Sonoma County version of the Surf Riders Association.
Okay.
And they're one of the groups that are opposed to this. She told me that she was completely misquoted in the article and was... she seemed to be very annoyed with that fact and said she'll never speak to the Associated Press again. And I said, well,
never's a long time.
And it's a big organization, know. And so for the most part, you've experienced Associated Press for a long time. They do a real, considering how many stories they cover and that sort of thing, I think they do a pretty good job.
Well, there are a lot of contributors from all over.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily controlled by, it's not a top-down organization. So
the other thing that's in the article that sort of was a red flag for me was it says directly here, out of California's 1,100 miles of beach. And I was like, 1,100 miles? I mean, is that right? So then I looked that up.
Did you Google search it?
I can't find that figure.
To describe the length of beach coastline for California?
Right. I saw figures anywhere between 600 and 800 miles.
But not 1,100.
Not 1,100. So considering that that's two areas, where there might be
maybe not faulty information.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We were talking about Amgen earlier.
Yeah.
It rolled across Southern California up through the Central Coast. It is now in Northern California, the final stage this morning, leaving San Francisco at 8:15. So are they an hour? Yeah. They left Marina Green, crossed over the Golden Gate Bridge. That must have been a sight to see. Up through Point Reyes into West Marin, finishing up in Sonoma County this afternoon. Do we know what time?
I would guess around 4 o'clock. But if they left an hour ago, my guess is right now they are headed over Mount Tamalpais and dropping down into like the Stinson Beach area. That would I don't know how fast they pedal, but that's a steep climb up and over that. So so Highway 1 is probably all backed up at this point. We had some backup here on the Central Coast.
They closed, their parts 154 was closed for a while as they were heading up from Santa Barbara. They closed parts of Highway 1. They went through the village of Arroyo Grande, and
that's where you live.
And 227 had some closures. So they didn't go like any main routes, but there was some effect to Highway 101 as people who couldn't get off onto those offshoots so there was a little bit of an effect there, but they're going to end up in Santa Rosa and it should be great weather. Beautiful day for it.
I'll tell you what, they had relatively good weather in San Jose on, I guess that was Friday, and then they climbed Mount Diablo yesterday, which I was talking about him climbing Mount Tam.
Diablo's really steep.
It's really steep, yeah. So there's another big event taking place in San Francisco today that we'll get to taking place right now.
Beta Breakers.
Beta Breakers that we'll talk about after the break, and also the weather forecast and a bit about jackfruit right after this commercial break. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network on this Sunday Funday. I'm your host, Randall White. Patty Pyburn by my side. Back.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time. But my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times. Someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org. The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
9:19 now the time. A very good morning, everyone. Great to have you joining us for the Eat, Drink, Explore radio show. Heard live every single Sunday morning. Sunday Funday, as we like to call it. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn. And our goal each week is to get you in touch with the food, beverage, and travel trends that are working their way through the wonderful state of California. We always welcome your input on things, and you can join us online, Twitter. It's twitter.com/Eat Drink Explore, or Facebook, same thing, facebook.com/
Easy.
Eat Drink Explore. And if you're listening on the radio right now and want to see what's going on, well, we do radio for...
We have pictures.
Radio with pictures, that's right. Just go to eatdrinkexplore.com and find our summary for today's... in fact, all the links and everything you'll need for the stuff that we talk about is included.
Are right there.
There as well. I need to update that page right after the show, FYI.
Note to self.
It is there. It's built. The page is there.
It's ready to go.
It just needs the hyperlinks to some of the things that we were talking about today. Patty, we ran up against a commercial break.
Yes,
and
we did.
You still had more to talk about. So
yes. So along with Amgen, heading out of San Francisco up to Santa Rosa, we have Beta Breakers snaking its 7.5-mile route through San Francisco as we speak.
I did the Beta Breakers one time. I was working for KGO Radio at the time, and back then they were the voice of the race.
Yes.
And it was one of these days where it started raining on us.
Oh.
We can get rain in May. And I
gosh.
I was so cold at the end of that race. I was literally like chattering my teeth. I was uncontrollably shaking. But I've done it.
You did it.
I've done the Beta Breakers.
Okay, it started at 7 this morning. Did you start at 7 back then?
I think this was an early start compared to previous years. I think we might have started around 8 or 9.
Okay, well, apparently it's great people watching because the Wacky Foot Race is full of runners in elaborate costumes in San Francisco.
I know. Can you imagine? You know, it used to. They have big groups too, like a lot of runners
with themes
with a theme, and then along the route they have people playing. They have like block parties, and so you might stop. You might not even make it out the whole way. You know, you just stop off at one of these block parties. They used to have a number of naked runners. But the city of San Francisco recently
they put the
kibosh on being nude in public. So
oh darn it!
I know.
You ruin all the fun.
I know. That's what. And get a load of this though. Here, like correlation, possibly. Go ahead and finish reading the rest of that article, and then I'll explain.
Ready?
Something.
With roughly 110,000 participants, it was officially the world's largest foot race from 1986 through 2010, but it has been decreasing in recent years. Is this because they can't run naked?
It corresponds with when they
That's when it started to fall off.
Last year's, I don't know what the numbers are for this year. Last year's registered runners, 20-something thousand. That's a big drop off.
Wow.
This year it was backed by Craigslist. Craigslist is the company that got behind them to help promote it.
So it's a foot race, or it was a streaking event.
It was a big
7 miles of streaking.
It was a big crazy party, and
gosh,
and lots of fun. So
okay,
you know, if you know it's coming, this is my personal opinion on it. If you know it's coming every year, and you know that there's going,
you don't
to be
want to see it, look away.
And you don't want to see it, right? Don't take your kids there or whatever. You're afraid of seeing the naked human body. Oh no. So at any rate, weather, Patty.
Okay, well, really quickly, I should mention it's National Devil's Food Cake Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And if you like devil's food cake, indulge. Saturday.
This coming Saturday?
Coming up. Wine Day. That's my day. Wine Day. I love it.
Did you hear that, Anthony? Wine Day on Saturday.
Wine Day on Saturday. We're not talking about whining day.
Anthony says
it's
Saturday,
every day,
Sunday,
really.
Monday,
Come on.
Tuesday,
We're
Wednesday,
in California. Okay, really quickly, temperatures at the coast.
Yeah.
In the 70s, 90s for our inland areas today, with a boost of 5 to 10 degrees tomorrow. And then cooler temperatures as we head into the midweek. Lots of sunshine in the sunny Golden State of California.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
We're gonna get some of. We're gonna get some of that offshore conditions starting today and then working into tomorrow, and that's why the temperatures rise depending on where you live. They call them different things. It could be the Santa Anas.
Yes.
Here we call them the Santa Lucias.
Santa Lucias. But it's going to cool off then middle of the week for people who are looking for cooler weather. But I'm going to be enjoying the sunshine. I'm kind of in the mood for it to be like summer.
Yeah. Well, that's tomorrow.
Good. I'm ready for it.
Enjoy it. All right, Patty, you ready to jack it up a bit?
Let's do.
We're talking jackfruit, and if you have not heard nor seen it before,
It's a wacky fruit.
it's wacky. It's huge.
Mhm.
I mean,
it really is. I couldn't get the idea of how big it was until I saw a picture on Wikipedia where they have it with a woman who's selling it, and then it puts it in the perspective. That's a big fruit.
we're showing a picture of it right now up against a tree, and that also from Wikipedia. I should give them. I didn't have time to
Give them their credit.
Yeah, put the little thing down at the bottom. But yeah, it can grow up to what, 110 pounds or something?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Think about it. That's a big fruit.
That's a big fruit.
I have seen these. I used to live on the border of Chinatown and North Beach in San Francisco.
So you'd see them in the market there?
Yeah, because I would do my produce shopping at the little Asian markets and would go over there and I would see these and ignored them because I just didn't.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
They're prickly on the outside and fleshy on the inside.
We're showing a picture right now, again, if you're watching the simulcast, where it shows the fleshiness. And when you take like a spoon to it or a fork or however you would pull it out, it gets kind of stringy like you would get with
pulled pork or beef or even chicken, really.
Exactly. And then its flavor can take on whatever you want.
Right.
So if you cook it with savory ingredients, it's going to give you the taste of, like, in fact, my mouth's watering a little bit thinking about it, like a pulled pork taco or that kind of thing, you know?
And so the unripe fruit tends to not be as sweet. I was reading another article about it, but as they let it ripen, it becomes a little more sweet. They said the glucose in it, the natural sugars in it, convert very quickly to give you good energy. So it's a really healthy way to get some energy. But it has a sweeter flavor, so you can kind of depend on how you want to prepare. Depending on how you want to prepare it, you would go with the unripe version. Like perhaps if you were talking about those tacos.
Yeah. Right.
Or if you were doing something a little sweeter, you might want to go with the riper version.
It's a great tool or replacement for meat for those who don't eat meat. And I'm reading this off of outlookindia.com right now. It says the humble jackfruit has therapeutic nutrients called isoflavones.
Right.
Lignans, that one I haven't heard of, and saponins, that I have heard of. They're all known for their anti-cancer properties and an ability to fight free radicals that cause, here we go, aging.
I was reading an article. This is on about.com. Is that what you said you were reading?
No, mine's outlookindia.
Outlook. Okay, so this is about, and it says along with those cancer-fighting properties, it's also known for being great for your digestion. People who have problems maybe with ulcers or something like that, it can be really beneficial.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's rich in the micro mineral copper, which plays a role in thyroid metabolism and thus weight loss. And this article says, now I have your attention. It's rich in vitamin B6, which is also good for us. We know the B vitamins. And so, I don't know. It sounds like a pretty good fruit. The problem is, I don't know if this is a problem or not, but it's not really
super available.
Right.
Yeah. But maybe it will be if people get an interest in it. Maybe, supply demand. Maybe there will be an increased availability. Yeah. You know me, Randall. I am an equal opportunity eater. I'll eat everything.
This is true.
I am an omnivore. But I would eat this.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to try it. I was looking on the California Rare Fruit Growers Association website, and there was like a thread that was on there where people were discussing it.
California Rare Fruit Growers, by the way. They're some of my favorite people.
I sent them a note. I wanted to have them on to talk about this, but
I have a hookup for you in the future if you want.
Good. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we'll be on that. And the people on there were saying that, yes, it is grown by some people down in San Diego, and apparently there's a producer in the Central Valley, southern San Joaquin Valley, that drives it up to the Bay Area every week.
Maybe they can drive some here for us.
I hope so. Wouldn't that be awesome? So jackfruit, everyone. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. In just a moment, we're talking food fraud, the things you buy that may not be what they say. Back in a moment. Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
May is National Bike Month. Now, I used to be intimidated at the thought of biking to work. I worried about my outfit, the traffic, and the time. But my expanding waistline and rising gas prices helped me rethink that position. And last May, I tried riding to work. What an amazing change. In the years since I started riding to work, I've lost weight, saved money on gas, and canceled my gym membership. You should try it. Here are a few tips to help you get started. Alter your route for biking. Cars and bikes are both vehicles and both have a right to the road, but you'll feel more comfortable and more able to enjoy your ride if you choose less traveled streets. Ride with a friend the first few times, someone who has experience biking to work. They'll help you figure out how to carry your clothes, where to park your bike, and the easiest way to get to the office. Follow all the same rules you follow while driving. Signal before you turn, stop at all stop signs, and stay in the rightmost lane going in your direction. Biking to work is fun, easy, and enjoyable. Try it. For more tips and techniques on how to commute by bicycle or to find other cyclists in your area, visit bikeleague.org.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? Let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
Hello, everyone. It's now 33 minutes past the hour, and a big thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Randall White, and as you know, it is our goal each week to bring you information you can use to enjoy California's great leisure time activities in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused manner. We understand that eating nutritious foods can sometimes present certain challenges, including, well, price, accessibility, and even authenticity. As it turns out, Some of those nutritious foods you're working to include in your diet are also prime targets for scam artists looking to make a quick buck. Dr. Marcus Lipp is the Senior Director of Food Standards for the U.S. Pharmacopoeia Convention, USP for short, an organization with the stated mission to improve global health through public standards and related programs that help ensure the quality, safety, and benefit of medicines and foods. USP tracks, among other things, fraudulent foods and maintains a food fraud database known as the FFD. Dr. Lipp joins us on the Eat, Drink, Explore live line to go down a list of the most common food items showing up in this FFD. Welcome to the program, Dr. Lipp.
Hello, Randall, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, before we get into the specific items on the list, how do you go about isolating cases of fraud and then testing to make sure that they're valid?
Well, let me step back for a second here, Randall, and open with a statement that hopefully reassures some of your listeners. By and large, in the United States, food is safe, irrespective of all the incidences that we document in our food fraud database that is available on foodfraud.org. One can safely say that thanks to the activities of government, FDA and USDA, of course, the local governments too, state governments, and also industry and consumers, they all work together to keep and maintain our food safety.
It's because of these very lists, right? No one wants to end up on that list. So
exactly.
If you weren't keeping the list, there might be quite a bit more fraud out there, but fortunately there's not.
Well, we are happy to do our part in making information available through our database that will help others then to hopefully prevent fraud from happening, and awareness is a big step in that right direction.
Well, since we have limited time today, I want to focus on the common fraud cases that most of our listeners might encounter and may have a California element to them as well. One of the most popular beverages in the world, I would imagine, is orange juice, and it also tops your list, correct?
Well, orange juice or juices in general appear frequently in our database, absolutely. They are and have always been a target of people that want to make a quick dollar, as you said earlier. Most notably, the more general attempts of what people do is watering down juices or disguising the watering down of juices by adding sugars and citric acid to maintain the acidic taste of that. Now, keep in mind that activity is legal if it's correctly labeled and it's not sold as a fruit juice but a fruit drink.
Okay,
and it's perfectly legal to do that.
So for people checking their labels, as they always should, the ingredient needs to be just orange juice, right? Or orange juice from concentrate?
Correct. Orange juice from concentrate can be reconstituted with the appropriate and legally allowed amount of water because otherwise it's not drinkable.
Right.
But it has to be labeled accordingly. And then that gives then consumers the choice, obviously, to pick one product or the other product, and gives also regulators and others and stakeholders in the food supply chain the opportunity to verify that the water used to dilute concentrates has been of the appropriate food quality and grade.
Is there a percentage, like anything less than 100%, the name has to be switched to food drink, or orange drink?
Correct. If there are added substances like water, if that shows up on the ingredient list, and then it's typically always accompanied by sugar and citric acid or similar constituents, then it has to be labeled as fruit drink or orange drink or something along those lines.
All right, well, in the past year, I have switched just about all of my sweetener in the house over to locally made honey. Mm-hmm. And I know that also ranks high on your list. How are people faking honey?
Oh, honey can be easily diluted by adding sugar. Mm-hmm. For example, and just sugar is cheaper than honey, so and of course, one of the most characteristic aspects of honey is the sweetness. So adding other kinds of sugars to honey expands the volume, and again, if it's not labeled appropriately or not even allowed to do that, then that's certainly a fraud. The substitution of a more valued element by a cheaper element is a classical sign of economically motivated adulteration.
Are there any characteristics that the consumer could look for to sort of be a red flag that honey's been altered in some way?
There is, unfortunately, in that aspect, there is no easy way for a consumer to look at something, and or often at least, there's no easy way to look at something and say this is adulterated honey or this is not adulterated honey. Now, there is one good guideline for a consumer, and that's a very trivial and well-known aspect. If it's too good to be true, it most likely is too good to be true.
You're talking about price point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that's a good aspect in honey that people can use for honey as a guideline. Now, there for other food products where the integrity of the food product is still there, and I go down the list here a little bit and switch to spices, then it's easier for the consumer to actually have a handle on it. If you think about black pepper, black pepper is, of course, sold as a whole black pepper kernel and is sold as ground black pepper. And the whole black pepper kernel are typically sold in glass jars. It would be easy to pick up any kind of low-quality plant material, chaff or dust or twigs or whatever else, or can be found if material is adulterated. Now, if it's ground black pepper, it's the gray speckled mass, and the loss of the integrity of that product is not an aid for the consumer anymore.
Is that what's happening with saffron? Because I know saffron's high on your list as well, and I could see where it would be ripe for fraud.
Yeah, saffron is probably the most expensive spice on Earth and has always been. And as you pointed out, it is incredibly time-consuming and cumbersome to harvest saffron. And hence, it looks like, for people that might not be familiar with that, it looks like orange-colored little threads. Mm-hmm. And these one can devise several strategies of making orange-colored little thready things that then may be sold as low-quality saffron. So, again, the price point is one of the criteria that consumers can use. Another criteria is, of course, to go for trusted brands.
Right. Knowing your supplier is huge. That's like I was mentioning back with the honey. I go to the exact same family at the farmer's market every single week, and they have been at this farmer's market for more than 20 years. So it's one of those things where the community has their eye on this farmer, and they know them well, and and the price is not that great. So I assume I'm getting the right stuff. When it comes to olive oil, California's become a huge provider of olive oil. Some recent news within the last year or so, testing that's been done, I believe out of UC Davis, showed that California olive oils are the extra virgin version tend to be authentic, but oils coming from other countries have tested as not authentically extra virgin. What do you know on that?
Well, olive oil is a very interesting topic in terms of economically motivated adulteration. Now, olive oil is one of a very old and long-used food ingredient that has been known in medieval ages and before that. And according to reports, olive oil has been adulterated since there are olive trees on this earth.
Right.
More or less. It's a little exaggerated. But it has a very, very long history of lower quality olive oil, so the extra virgin, that the highest quality of olive oil is then substituted or diluted with something that's labeled as olive oil only, which is a lower quality compared to the extra virgin olive oil, or just other vegetable oils that are added.
One of the items on your list is blueberries, and I think this might be the case where clearly not the frozen blueberries that you would buy or the fresh blueberries, but these would be blueberries that are added, or so-called added to products, right? Or labeled as having blueberries.
Correct. Berries in general, or fruits in general, they are, of course, they are currently very much promoted for their health benefits that they seemingly convey to consumers. So blueberries is one of those. There are others like goji berries and cranberries and a lot of other products that are promoted with similar health benefits. Now, the same applies here too. It is easy to spot a whole blueberry. Mm-hmm. It is less easy to, if it's pulp, and used for coloring a food product to spot whether it has been really blueberry or not. And also, consumers need to read the labels because sometimes, and it is if it's labeled accordingly, it is perfectly legal to do that. Other fruits can be tainted with a colorant to simulate blueberry. However, it's then called berry product or fruit product.
Right, and read those ingredient lists. In some cases, you won't find any blueberries at all. Dr. Marcus Lipp is the Senior Director of Food Standards for the U.S. Pharmacopoeia Convention, or USP for short, discussing the Food Fraud Database. And did you say that's foodfrauddatabase.org?
Foodfraud.org.
Even easier.
Yeah.
Foodfraud.org. Dr. Lipp, thank you so much for joining us today. Lots more on that list, including milk, fish, pomegranate juice, coffee, and so on. And you can go to foodfraud.org and get all the information. Dr. Lipp, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, stick around, everyone. We are back in just a moment.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
Can we have your attention for a moment? Eat, Drink, Explore Media has an important date we want to share with you. Saturday, July 13th. We invite you to join us at a craft beer and food event like no other. At last count, generous samples from more than 70 breweries will be paired with local culinary treats for the 2013 Breast Fest along San Francisco's waterfront at Fort Mason. Going on its 14th year, the annual Breast Fest has grown dramatically, raising money for an incredibly important cause, providing free, complimentary treatments for women battling breast cancer. The Charlotte Maxwell Clinic offers services such as acupuncture, massage, organic foods, and transportation. The clinic's core mission to provide relief from the terrible side effects of cancer and its treatments. Eat, Drink, Explore Media is very proud to be among the main sponsors for this year's event. For more information, go to thebreastfest.org.
Randall White here, host of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, with a tip for Central Coast wine tasting. Eberly Winery was recently voted Winery of the Year by the world's top sommeliers and has one of the best local tours according to Wine Spectator. Eberly Winery open daily 10 to 6, and the winery's cave tours and wine tasting always complimentary. It's easy to find, too. Located on Highway 46 East, just 3.5 miles from Highway 101. Now it's time to plan your visit. Just head to eberlywinery.com.
The Eat, Drink, Explore Media radio show you are currently enjoying is in a local affiliate commercial break. Live programming will return shortly. Did you know you can watch a live video simulcast of our Sunday morning and Thursday evening shows from your computer, smartphone, or tablet device? And to top it off, it's free. Simply head to eatdrinkexplore.com or download our free app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. If you have a suggestion for an upcoming guest segment, send an email to radio@eatdrinkexplore.com. We're always looking for fresh ideas, including yours. We love to share fresh, local, organic, seasonal, and sustainable ideas throughout the week. And the best place to find those are on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook feeds. Our username across the social networking universe is simple: Eat, Drink, Explore, all one word. Hey, college students, Eat, Drink, Explore Media is always looking for qualified journalism or marketing interns. Send us an email today so we can check your status and put you on the list for upcoming intern vacancies. Would you like to hear this Eat, Drink, Explore radio program on one of your local radio stations? let the station know and contact us as well so we can get the ball rolling. Okay, you made it. The local affiliate commercial break is now over. Time for more informative and entertaining programming from Eat, Drink, Explore Media. Thank you for your patience. Welcome back, everyone, to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network on this Sunday, Funday, 9:49 the time. Great to have you here. And a beautiful day in California, to be sure. Hey, I want to let you know something I just saw on Twitter that many of you might find interesting. Michael Pollan is a writer of many terrific books, including The Omnivore's Dilemma, which I've read and is fantastic. Also In Defense of Food, Botany of Desire, and his new book, Cooked, is out, and he will be speaking tomorrow at Dominican. Hold on one second here. Let's see. Yeah, he's speaking at Dominican University in San Rafael at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And so you can check out more information, I'm sure, on his website, which is michaelpollan.com. Pollan is Pollan.com. He would be really entertaining. I just heard him interviewed on a show that I really enjoy called Forum up in the Bay Area, and I was listening to that this past week. And was thinking how I'd love to go see him speak. And so if you're in the San Rafael, Marin County area,
you have a chance.
Tomorrow you have a chance. All right, Powerball. Did you buy a ticket, Patty?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, me and a couple million other people.
I did too, and I had no idea it was $2 a pop.
Yeah.
I won't do that again.
It's an investment.
It is an investment. I always buy 2 or 3. I'm not one of those that'll sink $20, $40, $60 into something this ridiculous. But it's fun to...
It's fun.
Yeah.
Dream
part of it. To
dream.
Yeah.
To dream for a moment. What would I do? What would I do if I won?
I went into Dream Realm 2 or 3 times yesterday, figuring out how I would use the money. At any rate, they are now calculating the winners, and it looks like there's one big winner. I was wishing that would be divided, but as it stands right now, one big winner in Florida. There are match 5 winners, the power play as it's called. They win $2 million apiece in New York and South Carolina.
Wow.
Then match 5 winners, $1 million apiece, which I'm perfectly okay with.
You'd take that.
Right. That's in Arizona, California, right here.
Oh, someone in California.
So $1 million, just because you don't have the numbers.
You could still be one of those smaller, measly $1 million winners.
Right. California, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana.
Does it say where in California for that $1 million winner?
Let me see if I can click on this. No, I can't. Not
okay.
Without bringing up an ad. Whoops.
Very exciting.
So here are the Powerball numbers. You can check your tickets right now if you haven't already. I'm one of those people that I put my tickets aside because I don't want to see that I lost.
Right.
So I sort of just wait.
I don't want to know.
The numbers are 10, 13, 14, 22, 52, and the Powerball, 11.
Whoa.
10,
okay.
13, 14, 22, 52, 11. I know for a fact that on the one where I chose the numbers, I didn't get a single one. But but I did do 2 quick picks, and I never even looked to see what those numbers were.
Okay.
So who knows? Could be good news for us. Okay, Amgen Tour of California. If again, back to Marin County, where we have Michael Pollan speaking tomorrow night. Right now, Highway 1 heading up from Stinson Beach to Point Reyes Station. We'll be looking for delays, if not out-and-out closure,
right?
As the cyclists make their way toward their end destination, which is Santa Rosa in Sonoma County, and. Santa Rosa has really played a role in the Amgen Tour just about every year.
Hasn't it ended up there? I don't know if I want to say every time, but several times
through there.
Yeah. 81 miles they're going today, and the elevation gain,
right?
75 more than 7,500 feet.
Whoa,
that's intense.
Well, that's the way to wrap it all up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Amgen Tour, that should be fun. They've made their way all the way from San Diego County, Riverside County, Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo, San Jose, yesterday in the East Bay, Mount Diablo, and then today, San Francisco to Santa Rosa. I think they chose some really great routes for
Really
this
nice.
year's race.
So, if for anyone who's interested, the last rider is expected to cross the finish line there in Santa Rosa at 3:45 p.m. today.
Oh, okay. Well, my sister lives in Santa Rosa, and I think that'd be something fun for her to go see.
They are finishing up on 3rd Street and Santa Rosa Avenue.
Oh, right downtown.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So it'd be fun to go down there. It's really great restaurants that have popped up in downtown near the creek, I think it is. Some great wine shops as well. Speaking of wine, the Central Coast, Paso Robles area, the largest wine festival of the year is today, outside of Savor the Central Coast, which isn't really a wine festival.
It's an everything festival.
It's an everything festival.
It's a California lifestyle festival.
But this is the big Paso Robles Wine Festival today, right?
They are in, oh gosh, off the top of my head, I'm not remembering. I feel like it's 10 or 12 to 4 today, but I'm going to tell you in just a moment.
I like to go to the Zin Fest. That's my favorite one. That one's already passed. I think that was in April. And then they have there's California has so many different wine regions. There's a festival a week, but we just mentioned this one because it's a really one of the biggest ones in the state.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I was at Hope Family Vineyards.
Oh, I like that. I've been there.
On Friday morning. Yeah, they have a wine that they were showcasing called the Troublemaker wine, and we're going to feature them on our Central Coast News morning show about 2 weeks from now. But they have a special burger that they pair with the Troublemaker wine. But today, if I'm remembering what they said right, they're making pizza to go with the wine that they're featuring.
Hope Family Wines is really large. They're up in the Napa region. They have wineries all over the place.
Yeah, there's one in Hope Family has a vineyard right off of 46 in Paso.
I've been to that one. That's a beautiful tasting room.
Yeah.
With the high ceilings and all wood.
Really nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see here. The festival is today, 12 to 4.
12 to 4 today, so no matter where you're listening right now, you could pretty much make it. If you hopped in the car in San Jose, you could be down 101, and then you'll want to stay the night, of course, because
exactly
nobody goes to a wine tasting and then drives back 2 hours somewhere.
And like a lot of the events, they do have that cheaper ticket for the DD. The designated driver gets that cheaper ticket to get in because they're not going to be tasting.
Right. Coming up in a couple of weeks, Patty, when I'll be down in Los Angeles and you'll be filling in the host seat here, one of the things we'll be talking about is a food and cocktail event in San Francisco that raises money for a really great organization that teaches homeless people culinary skills so they can become the next top chefs and get them off the streets and into a productive job. And it's a fundraiser there. I love doing tasting events and things like that when there's a bigger good behind it. One of those sorts of things. So that's one of our guests that we have coming up next weekend's Memorial Day weekend. I can't believe it's already here.
Yeah, you know what's happening next weekend is the Blues Fest.
Oh, the Avila Beach Blues Festival.
Yes.
Are you speaking at it?
I will be there again. I think 9th year in a row. I have some tickets, Randall. We can talk about those tickets later.
Is it on Sunday or Monday?
It's on Sunday because the Beer Fest at Madonna, it's they have several days of it, but the big day is Saturday for the Beer Fest.
Patty and I have kicked off that big event and for years. Yeah, I haven't done it the last couple of years, but I might do that.
You might want to join me.
That'd be kind of fun. All right, everyone, that does it for this week's Eat, Drink, Explore radio show. Find all the information you need on the topics we've discussed at eatdrinkexplore.com. Thank you, Patty Pyburn, Anthony Renaro, Ricardo Teodosio, and most of all, you for listening.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.